Okay, so the NFL regular season has wrapped up and playoff bound, here we are.
Woo.
Um, Evan, yep, claps.
Yeah.
Evan,
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate your Miami Dolphins because I don't think anyone thought after the Tua injury you'd get here. So you're here. You're here. Congrats.
yeah.
But yeah.
Ooh. So my first question is, what is the game that you're looking forward to most?
What I'm really looking, I think the most interesting game in the slate is surprisingly the Chargers and Jaguars. Why?
Yeah,
Because I think it's the most even game. I think the Chargers are the slightly better team, but it's on the road. They've been known to put up stinker performances, Justin Herbert, in big situations. I think Jacksonville, again, I don't think they're that great of a team. They almost lost to a third stringer to not even make the playoffs, which we've chosen not to talk about today. But as a Titans fan, I'm not too happy about. But my point is, though, is that they do have momentum, though, and that definitely does mean something in the playoffs. I think that Jacksonville, and Trevor Lawrence can make some plays happen. I really have no gut feeling on that game. Is there one that really stands out to you right now?
I think the one that would really stand out to me is actually the Ravens and Bengals. I think that's the most even game. I don't, even though I like the Chargers and Jags gaming, I'm looking forward to that one. I think the Ravens and Bengals are
But
the
with
just
Huntley,
the one
though,
that
at
just stands out
quarterback,
to me.
with Huntley has not been inspired. The games the Ravens have won without Lamar Jackson have
Is
been
Lamar
with their
Jackson not
defense.
coming back?
I don't think so. I don't think he's coming back.
No.
Well, no, I don't think there's any Jackson.
Hmm.
But if there is or if they're not, if there is Jackson, that gets a little more interesting. But I think the Bengals you I just think even with Lamar Jackson, that's gonna be a tough game for the Ravens, but we'll have to see. You
Yeah.
know. I think another game, if I could pick another game that stands out, is actually the another lower tier game is the Monday night game, Dallas against Tampa Bay. I think that because obviously a week ago you would have said Dallas, of course. Because Tampa
Yeah.
Bay
Yeah.
really, I still think Tampa Bay sucks. They should lose that game. But the way Dallas played last week, you don't know, and it is Tom Brady on the other side. I know they've been awful, but you don't know, you know.
Yeah.
But
It is.
yeah,
And
so who has the most to lose this week, do you think? Like if they lost, it'd be terrible for them. Like this would be a terrible result for them if they lost this week.
looking at the games, I think the 49ers have the most to lose if they would lose to Seattle, which they're not going to, but they would
I
have the
don't
most to
know.
lose. You know,
I would say the big locks of the week are Buffalo. Sorry, but we'll see. If it's Skylar Thompson, I don't think that's going to happen. But you never know in the playoffs. And I would say Cincinnati, although now you've kind of raised a good point. If Lamar comes back, I don't think he is, but if he does, but yeah, Seattle could be decent. San Francisco should win that game. You don't know though. You don't know because
you never
they
know.
you got to remember they're starting a third string quarterback too. Um, and
Hmm.
that could falter at some point when we don't know.
Yeah, I think my locks of the week is, the 49ers. I'm probably gonna go with the Vikings. Um,
Yeah, that's going
you
to be
know,
an interesting one
so
too,
yeah.
Giants and Vikings, because you got to look at the Giants rested players. They were rested players last week. They let the Eagles get the 1 seed, so they were preparing for this game. The Vikings have not shown up in big games all season. You don't. That's a seesaw. We don't know. We don't know. Let's get to
Right.
some picks then. Let's get to some picks. So the first game of the week is Seattle and 49ers. Who you got, Jake?
I got the 49ers. I think the 49ers just had a big reputation at the beginning of the season in the regular season. And I feel like they can't lose this game. I mean, it would just be like the downfall of the 49ers. How did they get into the playoffs after having such a great season and losing the first round? And also Brock Purdy. I mean, he's been good. I don't think he's thrown a pick this year, has he?
I He's been rock solid. He doesn't had to. They've had that
Yeah.
help. So you're going. I got to follow
Yeah.
right along. I think it's going to be closer than we think, mainly because Seattle's a solid team. They're a decent team with Geno Smith. They will score points. If Aaron Rodgers was there,
Hmm.
I don't know if they would have scored points. So this it actually shapes up to be kind of more of an interesting game, in my opinion. Seattle will keep it close. San Francisco will win. They've made tons of deep playoff runs recently, and we got to consider that with Kyle Shanahan and like you said, Brock Purdy is a thing to watch, but I think he's been playing solid. They'll keep doing that. So what's the next game?
Yeah. So the next game on the bracket is Chargers and Jags, and I'll go first on this one. Um, I got the Jaguars actually. I like Trevor Lawrence. I like how he plays. Christian Kirk is a big wide receiver for him. Travis Etienne is really nice too. I got the Jaguars in a close one. In a close one. Who
I
you got?
have the I think momentum in the NFL can be a big thing sometimes. I said this earlier. I think the Chargers are the slightly better team, but I think Jaguars are riding the momentum. Something tells me Lawrence is gonna. He didn't really make a play in that Titans game. Something tells me he's gonna make one really good play. I'm going Jacksonville.
All right. So the next game, Giants and Vikings, and I'll let you go first on this one.
I, this is tough because everyone thinks the Vikings are going to choke at this point because they've been choking in the big games all season long. Um, I can't go first. You go first. I got to think about this.
Okay.
Like
I'll go first. I got the Vikings in this one. This is an easy one for me. Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins, Galvin Cook. It's an easy one for me. I'm going Vikings.
I think I'll follow along and take Minnesota just because I don't know how reliable the Giants are with Daniel Jones. And sometimes this year they haven't shown up at points either. They've obviously been resting for this game. It will be very close, like the matchup they played a couple weeks ago. I'm going to take Minnesota as well.
Hmm. All right. Next up, we got the Ravens and Bengals, and I'll go first on this one. Um, you know, if Lamar Jackson plays, I got the Ravens. If he does not play, I got the Bengals. Um, you know, I think it's going to be a close game no matter what. Um, because you got playmakers on both sides. You got Jamal Chase, Joe Mixon, and then you know, you got is J.K. Dobbins playing or no? Is he out again?
I don't know, but they got solid. They got Gus Edwards too. They got a
Yes.
solid run
Yeah.
game. Yeah,
They
but
got Kenyon Drake too.
yeah,
Solid. Hmm.
I'm
Who you
gonna
got?
I'm gonna even if Lamar plays, which I didn't hear he was playing, but even if he does, I think the Bengals will win. I think they're ready to show last year wasn't a fluke. They'll have bigger problems coming up, but I'm going to take them to move past the opening round.
Uh, Next up, Cowboys and Bucks. And I'll go first on this. Cowboys. I mean, the Buccaneers, they don't deserve to be here. I think they're pretenders. I got the Cowboys. Not necessarily a blowout, but like 10 points though. Who you got?
I think Tampa pulls it out and not be good. Cowboys are the better team. Jake is not wrong when he says that. But it is Tom Brady. I don't think they're going to go on a Super Bowl run or anything. And I'm sure we'll continue to talk about that on this show. But I think they have enough to pull this one out. Dallas really was uninspiring last week. Yes, they'll play a little better, but that team really doesn't respond to Mike McCarthy as coach. There's definitely a
Hmm.
divide there. And I think you could see that play out a little bit this weekend. I'm going to take the Buccaneers in an upset. So I think we
All
got
right.
one game left, which you can't
Last
pick.
game of the week. Last game
Yeah.
of the week. Dolphins Bills. I don't have a pick in this one. Evan can pick.
Yes,
Who you
because in
got?
PWTB, we do stay impartial. So we are not allowed to pick our favorite teams. And it's a good idea because we're just going to pick our favorite team. So we all know who Jake's rooting for, but we will say that the Bills will win this game because they have much bigger aspirations than the wild card. Good for Miami to get in after six years of no playoffs, but Buffalo will take care of this one in pretty good fashion.